The VA loan is awesome, but it's under attack. And on April 23rd, a judge signed off on an agreement between the National Association of Realtors and home sellers with a final court approval held on November 22nd. Now, listen, guys, as you listen through this, we need your help because this definitely affects the veteran community. And we want to be able to at least provide education for the veteran community around either like, hey, how do I sell properties on my own? How do I interview agents to make sure that I'm getting what I want? And, there's going to be situations where you might be put in a bind when you're buying a property because of these changes. But listen through and let me know what you think. Will help the veteran community. So now let's talk about why it's important. I did a video about a month ago when this happened, but now it's getting real serious, right? So now what primarily changes with this is how buyers agents get compensated for showing you a property. Now listen, normally it's pretty straightforward. Sellers agents offer a co-op to the buyer's agent, so they're basically paying them a percentage, whatever that may be, for bringing a buyer to the seller, right? That's what normally happens. Now, part of this lawsuit was that because agents were offering that inflated prices and basically it was artificial. And sometimes buyers agents would advertise that their services were free because technically a buyer wasn't paying for them. So that's kind of like the combination of how things used to happen. Now, let's talk about what's going to happen in the future. Now, we're already seeing these changes being implemented across the country. So this is not something like, oh, it may happen, oh, it may not. We're seeing this happen in real life. Now, I think there's going to be some changes that happen later because of that, but we're going to go over that here in a little bit. All right, so with this new agreement, buyers will go into an agreement with their real estate agent. Now, in most parts of the country, it's not common. There's places that it is where they sign off, but this is now going to be a standard practice for the National Association of Realtors, right? Where they're going to outline a set fee, which is either could be like, let's say, a fixed dollar amount, or you're going to be paying for a la carte services, or it's going to be a percentage of the purchase price. And that's what we're seeing right now. When I'm looking at deals coming in, I'm seeing like, oh, the buyers have agreed to a 2% represent or 3% or whatever the case may be. People are, signing off on that, which is really going to change the landscape for the real estate community. Well, I foresee that we're going to have a large exodus of people getting out of the real estate business just because it just got significantly harder to be able to help people purchase a property because of this additional negotiation. Now, I think overall, when looking at loan transactions, I don't see people have all this extra money to be able to come to a closing and then on top of that pay for this service, right? And why I'm talking about this and why it's going to hurt the veteran community is because no matter as a veteran, you sign on, let's just be ridiculous. Let's say you sign for 10% in fees. So on a $500,000 deal, you agree that you're going to pay $50,000. Well, the thing is if you're using a VA home loan, you cannot pay a single penny in order for you to be able to pay for that realtor's commission, no matter what you sign, because this is a federal law that's in place. Now, the real estate community knows that this is happening. They recently sent a letter up to the National Association of Realtors begging them to change this. But guess what? It's the senators that are the ones that can change the law. Now, this is the challenge. Some veterans are like, well, we don't care about that law. We want to be able to pay for an agent if we want to. And then you have a whole separate segment of veterans that are like, well, it's there to protect us. We don't want to pay that fee. And I'm with you. I understand both sides of it, but there is no waiver that exists currently for that process. Like I always talk about VA condo approvals, right? People know, hey, if I want to buy a condo, I can get a waiver even though the VA says that condo's not approved. So that's right now what people are hoping for, that veterans have that ability. Now, the thing is, and again, guys, drop comments down below if you have ideas. But the thing is, the logic for the VA is that, listen, finding properties online is readily available, that veterans don't need to seek the advice of a realtor to show them properties. Now, look, there's a lot that goes into a buying process. I think a portion of real estate is almost, they hide it so consumers can't get access to that. I think this lawsuit's going to change that. I think there's going to be more tools for consumers to be able to do things on their own. But again, we're happy to put stuff together, but we need your support to be able to let us know, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, like, this is what I'm planning on doing. Because a lot of this stuff is going to be implemented now, or has been implemented through and fully implemented up through August, through November, like the original, the final court. So drop comments down below, hit the likes and subscribe button. I'll catch you guys soon.